I know that you've said before that you've been sustained by the prayers of lots of Americans. I've seen pictures of people praying over you.
It's incredible, actually.
Her question is, she says, you've been faced with so much adversity and persecution for years. What's your relationship with God like, and how do you pray?
That question was directed at former President Donald Trump. And I can't wait to hear what his answer is. Someone who has said that he is sustained by the prayers of his supporters, which might be true, Cenk. What do you think?
I want you to pay attention in this answer to whether he ever answers a question about his relationship to God. Because when she asked him that, I thought, oh, good question, even though it's from Fox News, because I know he has no relationship to God. Okay, so let's see what he says. Let's find out.
I think it's good. I do very well with the evangelicals. I love the evangelicals. And I have more people saying they pray for me. I can't even believe it. And they are so committed, and they're so believing. They say, sir, you're gonna be okay. I pray for you every night. I mean, everybody, almost, I can't say everybody, but almost everybody that sees me, they say it. It's such a beautiful thing.
Trump loves that others are praying for him.
Yeah. And look, there's two hilarious parts of this already. And then the main point. One is, people are telling me they pray for me all the time. Yet, like when you have cancer and stuff, like they might be wishing you well because they think you're so problematic. Like, hey, I pray for you, brother. So that's why almost everyone might be praying for him. Both the Republicans genuinely, and the Democrats like, I pray for your soul. Anyways, but that's a minor thing. The hilarious part of that is, I love the evangelicals. The evangelicals vote for me, I like them. They asked you about your relationship to God. They didn't ask you whether you like people who believe in God voting for you. We know you like that part. But what do you think of God? Like, do you pray? How do you pray? I watched the whole thing, never answers it. Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you.
I would have a tremendous amount of respect for him in this very specific instance if he just told the truth and was like, you know what, I'm not personally religious, but I really respect the freedom of religion. I respect the.
He would never say that.
He would never say that, right? Yeah. And that's the thing that drives me crazy. It's like, we all know you're not actually religious, and that's fine, that's fine. In fact, the religious people who are praying for you and support you, they probably know you're not religious either, and they think it's fine. Do you think evangelicals don't know that Donald Trump is not a man of faith?
Well, again, it's happening. By the way, we have the second half of the answer. You're gonna love it.
Besides which, who cares? Who cares? The question itself is stupid, in my opinion.
No, I don't think it's stupid. I think it's a fair question because if you ask a Democrat, that might also be fair. But for a Republican, their huge part of their base is very religious and cares about his relationship to God. So they say they care. So in my opinion, what I was going to tell you, Anna, is I think as usual it's half and half. I think half of evangelicals probably think he really is a man of God just because they want to believe it, even though there's absolutely no evidence. Again, hilarious video coming up overall on Trump and religion. But the other half think, as I just recently read, a lot of evangelicals say, look, obviously he's a bad guy in his personal life, he's sleeping with a porn, but God works in mysterious ways, and God sometimes chooses messengers that we might not agree with. Like David. David did all these wrong things in the Bible, but
David
God
was a bad boy.
Yeah, and God chose him anyway. So Trump's just like David, naughty boy, but for whatever reason, God loves the brother. Right?
That's what's so great about religion, right?
Of course, you just make it up.
There's an excuse for everything.
Yeah.
But Trump went on to explain how he thinks religion is such a great thing because were it not for the concept of heaven, would he really have an incentive to be a good person? Let's watch.
Let's find out.
When you look at all of this bad stuff going on, they have nothing to look up to. They have no God. They have no anything. They kill people, they beat people, they push people into subways. There's just nothing there. Religion is such a great thing. It keeps you, there's something to be good about. You want to be good. It's so important, and I don't know if it's explained right. I don't know if I'm explaining it right now, but when you have something like that, you want to be good. You want to go to heaven, okay? You want to go to heaven. If you don't have heaven, you almost say, What's the reason?
Yeah.
Why do I have to be good? Let's not be good. What difference does it make?
Look, I'm an atheist, and I actually agree with what he said there. No, I do, and I'll explain why in a moment, but go ahead.
Wow, that's so good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Look, guys, he just told on himself because he obviously doesn't believe in religion. He never answered the question of what his relationship with God is. He never prays, he never believes. But the reason he told on himself is he's like, well, if you don't believe in heaven, what's the point of being good? That's the same idea he conveyed to his chief of staff when his chief of staff was praying over his son's grave. His son had served in the military and had passed away in service. And that's when Trump, according to his chief of staff, said the legendary line about suckers and losers. And he's like, these guys in the military, they're suckers and losers. What's the point? Why would you die for your country? Then you're dead. Because he doesn't believe in religion. And you could take that any way you like, right? And you could tell in his answer, which I'm gonna come back to. And so he thinks, well, if there's no heaven, what's the point of being good? Why don't I just rob you? Why don't I just take everything from you and then you can't do anything about it? And I'm not even gonna get punished for it. That is quintessential Donald J. Trump. And guys, if you're MAGA or whatever, or if you're an independent, you could tell from that answer that he's never opened the Bible, right? I mean, he's like, religion is a good thing because it makes people obey. And it and then why bother being good if not for religion? It's like he's a third grader trying to explain religion he's not in.
Most religious people haven't opened their religious book, okay?
Okay, yeah, but they have some rough sense of what the religion is.
Sure.
This brother doesn't even know. He can never answer a freaking question. Well, we're gonna give you the clips from the past in a second too. But you all know that he doesn't pray. He never goes to church. And Anna, what's amazing about Trump isn't all that. It's that he's gotten caught on this 1,000 times. And he still hasn't read one page of the Bible. All he has to do is read 1 or 2 sections, go to church once or twice, so he could at least know how to use the lingo, so he could at least refer to a story or two. Look, man.
Why would he need to if not being religious has not translated to hurting him in the election?
Yeah, that's fair because the religious voters in this country will give him a pass no matter what, even though it's so obvious he's not remotely Christian.
Yeah, so look, I want to explain why I partly agree with what he said in that last video, although I think what I'm trying to say is a little different from what he's saying. I don't think that all people need religious doctrine or the promise of heaven in order to be good moral people. And I say that because as someone who doesn't believe in organized religion, I think I'm a pretty good moral person and I don't need the fear of hell or the desire to go to heaven to make me a good moral person. However, I think it would be a mistake to see the world and others through the lens of your own lived experience, okay? Or who you are as a person. And I actually think that as the country has become less and less religious, there have been some unintended consequences or unexpected consequences, including people making political issues their religion and being almost zealous about it. And I don't think that's healthy. I think that's actually been incredibly toxic for the country. And look, guys, I think that religion, we kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater. Organized religion, and I'm not talking about fundamentalists, I'm talking about just normal, ordinary religious people. They get a sense of fulfillment and community by being part of that religion. And by throwing the baby out with the bathwater, I think it's led to a certain level of toxicity that I kind of want to undo and reverse.
Yeah, well, but the thing here is, in that analogy, the bathwater, in my opinion, is a religion. The baby is the community. We had a spirit of community that we really desperately need back in America.
Yeah, I agree, yes.
And there's a lot of ways to that community. There's a lot of wonderful religious people who create that community. There's also a lot of wonderful non-religious people who create communities. But either way, we have to have that sense of belonging and having each other's backs and fighting for each other. But I promise it to you, so I want to show you guys. So for those of you who are religious, watch this and then tell me if you think Donald Trump is actually religious and a man of God. Watch.
The Bible certainly is one of, if not, I mean, it is the book. And I go to church a lot. Always on Christmas, always on Easter, always when there's a major occasion. And during the Sundays, I'm a Sunday church person. I like to do the right thing where I don't have to actually ask for forgiveness. When we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness. And I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed. We were having fun when I said, I drink the wine I eat the cracker. The Bible is special. The Bible, the more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is.
An Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal.
I always say, we didn't even put Corinthians in that one.
It's the book.
Okay.
Okay, the book.
Old Testament or New Testament, I haven't read a word of either. Probably equal. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.